With breaking news, the Iran-backed Iraqi militant group Kataib Hezbollah has warned of a potential long war in Iran should the United States launch strikes in the region. In a statement, the group urged its fighters to prepare for a potentially long war of attrition in light of what is described as American military buildups and escalating threats. The group, which is one of the most powerful Iran-aligned factions in Iraq, emphasized that any attack on Iran would directly affect its interests, given the strategic alliance between the two. A commander within the group told AFP that they would be less restrained this time compared to the Israeli-Hamas conflict, where they refrained from direct intervention. The statement also warned the US of immense losses should it pursue a conflict with Iran, highlighting the growing concerns in Iraq and the broader region. This comes amidst months of attacks carried out by Iran-backed factions against US troops stationed in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq and Syria. The rise in hostilities had temporarily subsided under pressure from both the US and local forces, with calls for these groups to disarm growing stronger. We are now being joined by Nilüfer Ara, who's an Iranian woman and human rights activist, joining us from Turkey. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World for especially this breaking that's going on. As we know, more and more is coming out of this conflict between Israel, US and Iran. What more can you tell us on about it, and how now other groups are now getting involved and backing?
First of all, hi. Second of all, since the last time that we talked, a lot of things has changed, especially Mr. Khamenei's behavior has changed. The last time Trump threatened him to death, and he didn't take it seriously, and he acted differently. He was trying to attack United States and another parties that they are working with the United States, and that's what exactly caused this war right now. And truly, we are very happy. The people of Iran are really happy because this regime is one of the most dangerous regimes the world ever seen, and they are truly happy because of this attack. Right now, they are being attacked in many cities, especially Tehran, and many important people from this regime has died, and they have been assassinated. And mostly right now, Trump told Iran that if they just surrender themselves, they are not going to be hurt anymore, and they are going to have immunity for them. But they didn't accept it, and they started to throwing their drones at Israel, and during that, one of them just fell down in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not wrong, and they have killed one person over there too, and they are getting out of control.
Thank you, Nilüfer. Please don't go anywhere, as we will join back with you very shortly. We're now also being joined by Major General Gigi Davidi, who's a defence analyst, joining us from New Delhi. Thank you for joining us here for this breaking news. As we've heard, they have said that they need to prepare for a long war. Is this a threat towards the US, or is it because of everything that's going on with strikes, especially going through the Middle East?
Well, Ali, these proxy groups, Hezbollah or Houthis or Hamas, they are the, proxies of Iran, and they have been nurtured, they have been trained, and therefore, at this juncture, it's quite obvious that they would like to pitch in with their masters. And this Hezbollah, threat or whatever you call it, or the message, is, I think, one of the ways to express solidarity with Iran. But the point is that these three groups have been weakened considerably and they don't have much of potential left to influence the events that is going on in Iran or in the Israeli-Iran conflict. But nonetheless, these proxies can play a limited role. They can, because their basic tactics are only they are non-state actors, so they indulge in the proxy war, terrorist activities, and such like actions. But I don't think that they have so much of potential left after they have been hammered over last 2 years. So I think that this threat is basically more symbolic than actually what it implies. But the question more important is the way the operations are started and with a very clear-cut aim by the Americans and Israelis that they want to decimate the potential of Iranians both in terms of their nuclear capability and the missile capability. And I think this will be a prolonged war, but at the same time, you can't rule out the proxies also pitching in favor of Iran. Ali.
Thank you, Gigi Davidu. But please don't go anywhere as we will join back with you very soon. Another breaking has come in. Iran